We are honored to welcome Ms. Dimple Barnes, Director and Founder, Simhara Creatives, who will share her insights on transforming passion into a pathway of success.
Hi, good afternoon, and thank you so much for such a warm welcome. Taking something from the previous motivational speaker, Arshad, I think he has it all figured out at 16. I think what I am still figuring out at 46. So I think today's kids know what they want, how they want, and they will not stop over there. You don't need to have it, sometimes all figured out. What you just need is one brave step, a spark within you, and you need to protect that spark until it becomes a fire. And that's what I believe in from this day one when I've started my journey of career. Because each one of us over here are, of course, becoming, growing, falling, rising, learning. And at the end, that's the most beautiful part, that we are not giving up. We have that faith in us. Uh, my name is Dimple Barnes, and I'm the founder and creator of Simhara Creatives. We are a brand activation agency. I started my journey not from just a degree, but I started it in good faith of network of people who backed me in all my career span. One thing that had me going always was the network and the connections that I made wherever that I was in whichever part of my career. Also, I'm here today, of course, to tell you about event management of the various categories in event management that y'all can take and choose from, and what type of industry event management really looks like, the different careers within and the roles that y'all can play, as well as the skills required, the salaries, and the most important, how you can start your journey from nothing to something. Um, the second slide, please. As you can see, I love my chai. That's one thing when you're in events and you're working long hours, that's going to keep you going. Your chai, your Red Bull, your coffee energy, late nights, in the morning. This event itself, what's done by your school and AVENIR and Indian school Seeb, it's like, please give a big round of applause, because managing so many speakers, welcoming, keeping that warm smile going from morning. I think they would have been on, working at this 1 month, 2 months in advance, or maybe even started it last year. So that's what is event management right here. And your creative people are right sitting over here, who can give you the wisdom on how to start and where to actually be your finishing line. The second slide, please. So my first experiences as an event management, let's say we all have it. We all know that person. It's our mother. Have you ever noticed that your mother is your first ever event manager? It's your birthday, it's an anniversary, it's Diwali, it is Christmas, it is so many, it's Eid, it is so many family gatherings, and she's the one that is managing the whole show. Father will be the finance manager, only giving her a limited budget, but a mother is the one who is your first ever event manager if you ever want to learn. She needs to be within the budget. She needs to plan the food and the menu based on everyone's likings. Kids want burgers. Parents want something without onion and garlic. Then there are some who have allergies. So she needs to ensure that when parents or guests are walking in, before that, she has finished not only cooking, she has finished setting the table. The flowers are all set. She would have shouted at y'all umpteen times to make your bed, make your room, ensure that the bed sheets are changed, your games and all are ready for the night to entertain your little cousins and your friends coming over, and seeing to it that everyone that walks in is walking out with a warm smile and a loved heart. So your first event manager is basically your mother. So today when you're going home, just do thank your mother, because whoever is here and wants to learn, take it from her, because it all begins at home. You're just not executing an evening, you're making memories that is going to be remembered by people who have visited your home or visited your event. It's the referrals, it's the feedback. So that's what event management is, my first ever experience. I learned it all from my mom and from my aunties, and of course the many generations that have done it without even having a role title, given to them. Now, who all have seen this movie? Has anyone seen this movie? I think only our generation has seen this movie. So this movie, of course, y'all should know this movie because it will give you your favorite. I mean, at least my still is Ranveer Singh and Anushka Sharma. They were the lead roles in this movie. This movie, if you do get a chance, of course, this movie is all about two people coming together to form a wedding company. And it is, of course, it is quite a comedy, romantic rom-com kind of a movie. But what do you take from this movie at the end of it? It's basically telling you that event management is the art and science of planning, executing, organizing, and giving people the experiences that they are going to take away when the lights are switched off. They're not going to remember your name, but your work. And that is what this movie was all about. How the clients were handled, how the budgeting was done, logistics, creativity and designing, and crisis handling, the last minute problems. It also shows how events are built on teamwork. It's not I, me, myself. It's we, us, and all that we do. And I'm going to, I mean, of course, y'all have not seen this movie, but I'm going to give you the example of the live example of AVENIR itself. It's not one person's work. It's one person's idea to create something that is going to be spoken about in the generations to come. So basically, it is what is in the real world, how you take in the pressure. Slide 3. Now, the scope of event industry. So once we understand what event management basically is, the next question is, how big is this industry? And in today's world, this industry is huge. You cannot imagine the reach what event management has come to. It's not just wedding and parties. Today it is about corporate events like launches, conference, and trainings, social events like weddings, birthdays, baby showers, cultural festivals, National Day, mall activations. You would go to the mall and you would walk in and see every weekend there is something happening. When you're walking into Avenues Mall, when you're walking into Mall of Oman or any mall over here, you will see that, a car display. That's brand activation. You will see an arc. That's brand activation, wherein the brand is putting out, their name and their brand out for you to remember that, okay, I'd seen something, okay, why don't we buy that? It's the pull, what the client would like actually you to remember in your mind. So it's your long-lasting experiences. That's what event is all about. Then you have sporting events, concerts like your, school festivals. You have your sports day, exhibitions and trade shows you can visit at the Oman Convention to understand better, because every month they keep having a lot of shows. And of course, now there are virtual and hybrid events too. The event industry is a full, next slide. The event industry actually is a full ecosystem, okay? And for one event to happen, So these are the type of events that I was telling you, the sports events, spiritual events. Nowadays, you do have, people want to escape. They want to actually not only, connect to the outer world, they want to connect within as well. So now, even yoga camps, retreats, even they have become like an event industry. And of course, post-COVID, we have learned that virtual and hybrid events like summits, seminars, conferences, even there are webinars and online summits that happen. So that also COVID has given birth to something new, virtual and hybrid events. Next slide. So for an event to happen, you need clients, event planners, designers, production team, stage and sound experts, catering, and media and photography, and of course hotels and venues and security, logistics, transport, everything. So these are your crux of how, what an event will be and how are these as the different sectors within your event. When you're planning an event, these are the criteria y'all must see when y'all are planning the event. Everyone works together to create one seamless event like we have seen at AVENIR also. The scope is not small, it is global and growing, and it's filled with career pathways, which we will see now. And where there are people, there will always be events. And where there are events, there are opportunities. Now we come to the career pathways in event management. If you see, there is event assistant and coordinator. This is your start, like wherein you're handling an admin job, vendor calls, checklist, cold calls you're making. Then you're having an event planner and producer, designing event flow, managing logistics, coordinating with your vendors and all. The event manager who is overall managing the project lead and client management, the head of events, the event director, strategizing, multiple projects and budgets. So this person will be coordinating the budgets that you do not go out of the budget. Because when an event is coming in, the main thing is the costing. You are working and sticking within the budgets to ensure that the client is satisfied within the budget given, but you're also taking away the profits from it. The agency owner and consultant, that's an entrepreneurial path that one can follow. And freelancing, open to roles as they come. Currently, of course, freelancing is influencers. Then you have promoters, hostesses. So these are your freelancing roles that are there within the industry. The next slide. Specialization. So now specialization is something that is wedding planning. You are designing the decor, ceremonies, guest experience. Here, this is something which is emotional. It needs all heart because you are managing people here. So what you need to do is, yes, you need to put your mind, but you also need to put a little of your heart when you're actually talking, taking this industry. Corporate-mize meetings, incentives, conferences, exhibition, client goals, return of investment. Here, it's all about the mind, wherein there are a lot of negotiations involved over here. You are talking to the client on an executive level, and you are actually ensuring that your skill of negotiation over here are more than what you would be having over here. Here, your negotiation will be with the way you talk to people and all your heart. But here is something that you will need to put your mind, that you are getting the client in with your words, Festival and concerts, of course, permits artist management, crowd control, virtual and technical events, platforms, streaming, interactivity, experiential brand activations, market-driven engagement, which I was telling that you can see it in the mall as well. So these are the specialization. This is where your passion actually calls. And a few things, it is like, this is where you can actually see where do you fit. It's your skill, where your passion meets your skill. And if you feel that this is where that you belong in any one, you can pick it up, explore, and actually, intern over here or freelance over here in any of these specializations. Now, roles and responsibilities. Every event has three stages: what happens before the event, what happens during the event, and what happens post the event. Of course, this is all your planning stage. Once the client is in, the design, the concept design, the budgeting, vendor selection, logistics, marketing, everything happens over here. This is where you are putting your focus, creativity, mind, effort, allotting your teams, everything is happening over here. During the event, what happens is this is your execution time. This is where your adrenaline is running high, emotions are high, you are coordinating. You have to be calm under pressure over here, because this is where the coordination, troubleshooting, stage management, hospitality, everything happens over here. Just on this, during the event, like I was saying, that this is where the pressure timing is. I will just tell you something that happened to me 3 years ago. I was conducting this event. It was a high-profile event for my clients at Zara Tours, and we had these. The clients were from Georgia. I had coordinated the whole event, and I forgot just one small point. I forgot to check the measurements of the table. Such a small thing as checking the measurement of the table costed me to actually remember, the client to remember my goof up at that point, but not see the 5 days of effort that I had put in, because during my pre-event time, I forgot to actually check the size of the table mattered when I was putting the decorations for the table. That didn't give me the space for the clients to put their plates, cutlery, fork, and also fork for the guests to eat. And this decor took a big space on it. So during the event, what happened, because there was no space, I had to change the whole layout, because of which the sound got affected, because the table seating went from a round table, from a rectangle table to a round table. The space got elongated. And of course, post-event, the feedback and payment settlement, of course, got affected. So whenever it comes to roles and responsibilities, your main point is how well you will perform here. This, you have to be, of course, your logistics, your vendor, everything will fall into place if you have done it rightly, assigned the roles. And not everything, don't do it on yourself. There are people for that. Have faith in them. Keep your control, but have faith in your people. But this is where you will have to not crumble, because this is your pressure time. And post-event, of course, feedback collection, payment settlement, and the reporting. So these are the roles and responsibilities. No, it's okay. It's fine. The required core skills. Now, let's look at what skills matter in event management. And they are very easy. They are quite easy to learn. And even I am, at my stage, I'm still learning. Because event management is an industry which evolves every day. Now we have AI. Now we have Canva. We have Gamma. We have ChatGPT. There are so many, let's say, it's like a buffet out there. But during our time when we started, I'm talking 15 years ago, 10 years ago, as long as like 5 years ago, we didn't have these options. But now, these are the core skills that you have. Of course, communication and negotiation. That has to be, when you're choosing event management as a career, communication. That's the key. because you'll be meeting different people in every walks of your life. The more you communicate, the more better for you. Because in event management, you are a model that needs to smile. The lights never go off. It goes off only when the event is done, and this is what will help you get there. Communication. Negotiation is when you tell people your worth. No one can tell you your worth, but only you know the time, effort, man hours that you are actually putting in is worth making the clients worthwhile. So these are the core skills: budgeting and time management, creativity and visual planning, project coordination, risk management and contingency planning. Of course, in technical and hard skills, these support you professionally. You have event softwares. Like I was saying, like earlier, we never had anyone. We had our creativity, we had our mind, we never even had internet. But we were doing it based on the skills that we would see, learn, adapt, make mistakes, fall, rise. So we were doing that. But now you have these technical hard skills. Event softwares are there. Then you have these basic design tools: Canva, Photoshop, social media and marketing, your biggest attributes, and of course your, these are the positives. Audio, visual, and lighting basics. And if you are mastering these hard skills, these come actually naturally, because you are learning over here how to master the art. And here you are, kind of utilizing it, using it, and of course the soft skills. These are your personality strengths which matter the most. This is inborn. Like I said, in event management, you need to smile every time. You need to know when to use your emotional intelligence, when to be, of course, flexible and resilient, team leadership, and network and client handling. Network because, of course, the more you network, the more clients come, the more referrals are happening. And of course, the more clients you handle, the more referrals actually are there. So team leadership and network and client handling is, again, also the most important. And please do remember that in events, skills beat degree. You can have a higher degree, but if you don't have any of the skills, you will not succeed. You may succeed just maybe 30%, 40%, but if you want to go to the top, have your interpersonal skills. Know how to talk to people, because your attitude and presence when you're with the client, it matters the most. You need to have a pleasing personality. A client should not be afraid to tell you how to adapt. Or will this vendor be flexible? At the last minute, a client has told you, okay, I don't want this table, I want to change it to that table. Say yes, we can do it, and figure it out later. But the client will remember that small point about you, that at the last minute, you came through for them. Educational path and certificates. Of course, the beautiful part over here is that there is no correct way to enter this field. Different people from different backgrounds can actually still succeed if they choose to follow event management. I'm actually from a commerce background. I started my career being a sales promoter for Nivea Beauty. Then I went on to be an executive secretary for 5 years. My boss actually at that time in Alkhan, Sadia Foods, BRF actually, the brand that you love, Sadia Chicken for nuggets and all, he saw my potential and he said, you'll be very good in trade marketing. He gave me 5 years of experience in trade marketing, actually learning how the in-store branding works. So my background was not from events, but yes, I had the creativity in me that whenever there was any office event, whenever there was any corporate event, or any visiting principals would come, they would first call me. So different backgrounds, different skills can actually lead you to event management if you choose to. Degrees that help, of course, event management, hospitality, PR, mass communication, marketing. Specialized certifications, of course, you have your majoring certifications. You have your MPI, ILEA, all these meeting professionals, international live events associations, or online platforms. And actually, if you see post-COVID, even I am doing quite a few. Sometimes in the night whenever I'm free, what I do is I just open any webinar, and you have Coursera and all are there. So these are certifications that you have free certifications inbuilt where you can complete these hours and link it to your profile on LinkedIn. So if you all have not actually got your LinkedIn profile, I would say start making it now. This is the right time when you are, of course, these are the degrees that you will do to be a certified event professional. But apart from that, what you can do is you have your school events like this one. Co- uh, Try and actually register yourself to be a volunteer. The more you learn what your teachers and all are doing, how do they do these events, how do they manage it, the more skills you gain. Make a LinkedIn profile. I know everyone will have a Snapchat, everyone will have an Instagram, but when you make a LinkedIn professional profile, that is where most professionals are, and you will see that's where internships are. And if they see that you have done these many courses online, because now you have courses on YouTube, I do courses from Coursera. A lot of courses. There are sometimes which are, like I said, the event industry is evolving. And for me to learn something, I must first master it. You can be like, the queen of all trades, but if you're a master at none, you are not going to get anywhere. So to know what you're talking, you need to actually go online and see the free courses. Start your LinkedIn account. Think that yes, I am the professional, because tomorrow later when you are applying anywhere internationally, they are going to see how strong your LinkedIn profile is, how many hours you have given to volunteers within your own school, colleges, fairs, be it just a small, maybe helping someone as a mentor, but that is a skill as well that you will learn and to master. So yeah, these are the educational path and certifications. Tools and technologies, of course, these are data analytics, so these are beginner-friendly tools, basically. Post-event feedback tools, CRM systems. Project management, you have Asana and Trello now. Event management, of course, you can refer to Cvent, Eventbrite. Marketing tools, you can refer to HubSpot, MailChimp. These are all that I have also been using. Virtual event platforms, Hoping, Zoom events, AirMeet. Of course, now most of the meeting is Google Meet. Of course, in Oman, still it's a one-on-one meeting, but internationally, to save time, people opt for online meetings. And of course, creative and visuals. Most people in the event industry, they use Canva and Gamma to create presentations. And of course, you have your chat GPTs, you have your AI to create, the presentations. Your school presentations, I'm sure you all must be doing it on your own. But later on, when you're in the event industry, apart from a designer who is very apt on AutoCAD, 3D, 2D designs, you will also learn to use Canva and Gamma. So because when client wants to see an idea, they want you to share an idea. Like, how will it look? So how do you show them a palace without actually, not having an image and giving them that dream that, okay, this can be done. I have known people who sell their talk by just showing a very beautiful presentation. And that's what matters. You need to know how to present it. And and then how to execute it. Career growth and salary range. Of course, this is per annum. I've just taken the range here based on the payment here in Oman standards. Okay, level, of course, is 3,600 riyals per annum. Mid-level, 6,000 per annum. But again, it depends which company you all are joining. If it's a government company, if it's an international company, that again is a different range. But these are mostly the startup ranges. Senior level, of course, 9,600. More with experience, entrepreneurship, more, like I said, the more degrees that you have online and your LinkedIn profile. And I'm going on saying LinkedIn profile is because if your profile is strong with the courses that you have done, that's your backing. And of course, the roles that you'll play within your own schools, colleges, fairs, those also matter. US and international, here they look for credits. How many credits and hours have you put into your school and college fairs? And freelancers, they of course earn based per project, depends on event size and niche, and growth factors, of course, are again networking, creativity, specialization, and specifications. Now, current trends and future events. The industry definitely is evolving because people don't just want events. They want meaningful experiences. And that, of course, comes from rise of hybrid and immersive experiences, physical, virtual elements to more interactive, more commercial, AI for attendance making, chatbots and analytics, sustainability, green events, zero waste, reusable decor. This is currently doing quite huge in Oman because most of the people around the world are going for sustainability. So these are the events that you must capture and know more about because in future, this is your main events that people would want. More corporate events, go for eco-friendly events. Something that can be created. It's a CSR events. So this is the one. Inclusivity and accessibility focus and use of AR and VR for audience engagement. Whenever we have, of course, these commercial events when we do in the malls and all, what happens is it is more about storytelling and not about a decor. You are engaging the audience. Events is all about telling your story or telling the client's story from your eyes. The client has an idea, you are creating it, and you are turning it into a memorable experience. So that's where your AR and VR comes into picture. Next slide. Now, pros and cons of event management. Of course, it requires high energy, guys. High energy. Energy can never be low when you are in event management because you have to constantly keep, like I said, pleasing personality. Creative and dynamic field, creativity must not stop. Curiosity must not stop. If you have an idea, go and create that idea. It might just be a small thing, but these are your pros because you are creating something that might not look anything to you, but to the outsider, it'll be like a wow factor. So those are your pros. Networking and travel opportunities, of course. The more you network, the more clients, the more referrals. The more people will say, hey, she's a good personality and a pleasing personality. She's smiling. I think she'll be very good. Let's refer her. Let's take her on. Let's give her a chance. Because people get stuck to one client until and unless they don't see a pleasing face. Because it's comfort. It's a comfort zone that someone would have created. But how do you break into the comfort zone? By networking. And of course, the travel opportunities. High satisfaction from seeing ideas come alive. Nothing gives you satisfaction when the lights go off and you say, hey, this is my work, I did it. And when I was doing, I have done FIFA 2 years, 2021 and 2022, for my clients at Ooredoo. And that was done across 10 wilayats here in Oman itself, wherein we created a whole FIFA zone in all these 10 wilayats. And because I had created that, my clients from Ooredoo Doha, they reached out for me to create it over there. So the satisfaction that comes from seeing your ideas come alive, nothing can beat it. You know, the whole pressure, the tears, the late nights, those all goes over. Like even AVENIR, I'm sure after 3 days, all of them are going to just sit and applaud and give a clap on their back right now. They must be like running from one schedule, the other schedule, seeing that a person has come, seeing that this speaker has come, seeing that this speaker has been looked after. But after 3 days, they're going to say, hey, we did it. We did it. We had our disagreements. We had our own opinions. We had the way this should be. But we actually did it, and they're going to clap for themselves, because no other high than clapping for yourself. Of course, the cons are long hours, high stress, tight deadlines, unpredictable schedules, physically and mentally demanding. This is one thing that I will tell you is going to be there for every event. This will never stop, even if it's your own birthday party, or even if it's, actually just a big event that you all have taken. You will be exhausted. But it's worth it, because at the end of the day, you'll say, I did it. I'm super glad at myself. I'm happy. Be your own motivator. In an events industry, your client will be your last motivator. He might not even say 1 or 2 words of praise. He'll just give you your next event to show his appreciation. But you should sit back and say, I did this. Amidst all of this, I was able to achieve this. So yes, these are your pros and cons. Next one. Now, how to start your career? See, in actually event management, the good thing is you don't need to have it figured out, or you don't need to have everything to start on day one. You can start any point in your career. You can actually start event management. You can start it today. Like I said, start volunteering at college festivals, conferences, or NGOs. Do internship with event agencies or wedding planners. Of course, over here in Oman, we have certain restrictions, but still internships are possible when they are mentorship. You have to learn at least one event platform or a marketing tool. Build a portfolio. This is the most important. Build a portfolio with photos, case studies, and testimonials. While you're in school, whichever event you are volunteering or giving your time to, take photos, take feedbacks from your mentors. Ask them that, okay, I'm building my portfolio for the future, and they will be doing that. Join associations like MPI, ILEA, what we saw earlier, and network on LinkedIn and attend expos. Whenever there is exhibition over here, and of course now with Oman, what is happening is there are quite a few events. Every day there is an event happening at the exhibition. So y'all can visit over there. Y'all can see the different type of events that are happening, the exhibition stands that are coming up and all. So the more you network and more you learn, the more expos you attend, more you broaden your horizon. Yeah? So next one. Okay, this is a company case study that I actually put just to tell you all. So this was an event I started Simhara actually in July. I worked with the company for 8 years, and I was heading the head of events and operations there. And one fine day I said, I should do this on my own. In June, I resigned. In July, I opened my own company. From the head of events, I actually started becoming the first slide that we saw a telecaller. I used to do telecalling. I used to call companies, though, of course, I had my referrals with my current clients who did follow me. This was something which I chose because this was Simhara, my company's first client ever. It all started with a cold call. I made a cold call to the head of marketing at Lulu, and I told him I need an appointment, and this is my company. He said, okay, come and meet me. I went and met him, and he said, okay, I have an activation coming up with back to school. August was back to school for everyone. So he said, I have an activation. I said, okay. He said, can you prepare something? I said, well and good, I will do it. Overnight, I prepared a presentation, and I'm not lying, guys. I took the help of ChatGPT over here. Okay, I used ChatGPT for my presentation. I used Canva to for the images. I even used ChatGPT for the images, and I put it in my presentation created by ChatGPT. You know, so I was telling my client overnight, I've done this, but it's the help of ChatGPT. But of course, don't say that. But yeah, so he asked me to create a proposal, and I said, okay, be updated with the news. And why I'm saying it is because of this. There was an article in the paper that Oman is going paperless. No shopping plastic bags and all. So I said, okay, why not? Let me create this eco-friendly bags for back to school tiffin box, lunches, and create your own tiffin box for the kids, because what better way for the kids to know independence when they actually make their own tiffin box. So it was a cold call, it was a meeting, it was an overnight presentation. Next day I had to present it to him in the morning. He liked my idea so much that I got 10 locations of Lulu to create the back to school with Asafa juices. So now I'm like, for Lulu, thank you. So now today, any client or any company that comes to Lulu, they refer my name that go to her. She can do it. And also, Asafa Juices, they've become my client. So I'm doing an activation for them as well. So all it needs is faith. Have that faith in yourself that you can sell your idea to the client. Because without faith, you will not have anything. So this is why I chose this case study. Of course, thank you, guys. Thank you so much. At the end of the day, I would just say, you know, event management it's not about decor. It's not about logistics. It is about people. It is about emotions. It is about creating moments that someone will definitely remember you. And you will learn to lead. You will learn to adapt. And you will learn to make magic on deadline. And you don't need to have it all figured out to begin with. Before I end, there is a small exercise that I would like you all to do, since you all have been so patiently hearing me. All I want you to do is clap 3 times and just, you know, twitch your fingers 3 times, clap 3 times and twitch your fingers 3 times. When I say start, please do that. 1, 2, 3, start. Okay, what are we doing? We just created magic. We just said thank you to the AVENIR team for actually creating this whole thing. So this is what events is. You make the magic. You are the director of this whole thing. And when you have the power to do it, people will start believing in you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I hope if you have any questions, anything, y'all can connect with me personally. These are my information. And you can always call me, connect with me. I'm always here to mentor and help you guys. But start, and I would say, do not wait to work for anyone. Work for yourself. Today's kids, like this the speaker before me, he has written 3 books, and I think that's such an inspiration. That is his age, he has actually achieved where I'm not even half there. So start from where you are and believe in yourself, and you're already there. Thank you so much, Avneer. Thank you.
May I now request Dr. Faria Asmi to kindly present a memento to Miss Dimple Barnes as a gesture of appreciation. Once again, our sincere thanks to Miss Dimple Barnes for honoring us with her presence and for sharing such insightful reflection.